Yo looters, welcome back to Loot Now. Today we're diving into a fresh batch of free Steam titles. Without further ado, let's get down to it. Hey gamers, let's dive into the latest color craze, coloring voxels. This isn't just another paint by numbers, it takes the chill vibe of coloring pixels and lifts it into full-blown 3D space. Picture a sandbox where you don't just shade the surface. You actually build the thing, block by block, layer by layer. The core loop is pure relaxation. Pick a voxel palette. Start stacking. Watch your tiny world grow into a massive diorama. There are over 100 levels spread across 7 free worlds. Each world made of 16 bite-sized stages that fit together into a larger themed scene. Build a bridge, a spaceship, a river, any order you like. It's like Lego meets digital painting, but with a soothing soundtrack that keeps the mind calm. What really elevates this game are the new shader blocks and particle effects when you color a block. It glows, shimmers, or even sparks, tiny details that make each step feel satisfying. The lighting adds depth, turning a simple block into a little masterpiece. And if you're hunting for Easter eggs, keep your eyes peeled. Hidden surprises pop up inside objects you might never notice in the final piece because it's free. You get a huge amount of content right out of the gate. The developers promise more worlds and levels, so the journey never really ends. If you're into low-stress creativity, coloring voxels is a breath of fresh, colorful air. Grab it, build, and let your imagination color the world. Spectre Inspector drops into your desktop like a rogue pop-up, but instead of a scare, it's a training ground for fighting digital ghosts. You play as Bobbert, a little inspector armed with an EMF meter and a battery-powered EMP. The first module has you learning the basics: detect a specter's flicker, dodge its sudden appearance, and use the EMP to stun it before it can corrupt your files. As you progress, the graveyard gets darker and the ghosts more aggressive, forcing you to refine your timing and switch between tools on the fly. The game's charm lies in its absurd premise: no actual possession, just a playful threat that keeps you on your toes. It's a neat showcase of DigiPen's design skills, with crisp UI and a quirky soundtrack that keeps the tension light. If you enjoy quick, skill-based challenges that pop up right where you sit, Spectre Inspector is a surprisingly engaging little demo that proves even a desktop simulator can pack a punch. Stomach turns the kitchen into a nightmare on a derelict cruise liner, where every sizzling pan feels like a heartbeat. You're the lone chef, guided only by a crackling phone that spews out bizarre, increasingly twisted orders. The game throws you into a frantic cycle: answer the call, master a series of rapid-fire cooking minigames, cutting, toasting, microwaving, and then race a relentless timer to deliver the dish through shadowy corridors. Each of the 3 levels peels back another layer of the ship's secrets, raising the stakes and bending reality with subtle, unsettling shifts. No combat, no loot, just the relentless pressure of a ticking clock and a kitchen that refuses to stay still. Stomach is horror through routine, and it keeps you on edge the entire time you're forced to cook. Picture this: a sprawling, sun-bleached Swedish landscape turned into a radioactive wasteland, where the only thing louder than the wind is the groan of the undead. You step into the shoes of Abdulaziz, an Iraqi gun dealer who finds himself trading with a shady supplier named Simon in Malmö. One binding contract, and the deal spirals into a nightmare that's as brutal as it is unforgiving. What really sets this game apart is its movement. Think the slick, bunny-hop mechanics of CS, Go, and Half-Life, but applied to an open-world environment. You'll feel every jump, every sprint, as if you're dancing on a razor-sharp razor blade. The world rewards you for mastering that flow, letting you zip across rooftops and forests alike. Your primary quest? Slay 300 zombies, loot their corpses for scrap and ammo, and scour the map for those 100 hidden stashes. Level up with 3 distinct paths: extra speed to boost your airborne dash, Juggernaut for lightning-fast health regen, and Scrapper to turn every scrap pile into a treasure trove. Optional missions, minigames like fishing and card playing, and a massive market where scrap is currency. Buy everything from bandages to electric snipers. With over 15 weapons, a complex jamming system, and 19 Steam achievements, there's plenty to keep you hooked. And the best part? It's all free. So grab your gear, hit the streets of Malmo, and survive the apocalypse, one bullet, one scrap, one breath at a time. Vigil throws you into a decaying underground facility where the only thing you can control is your own eyes. The game uses your webcam to detect blinks, turning every moment you look away into a potential death sentence. A weeping Gangle-style automaton stalks the halls, moving only when you're not watching, so the tension is always at its peak. While you're supposed to be disposing of boxes, the eerie environment and hidden secrets keep you on edge. If you don't have a webcam, a simple keyboard toggle keeps the horror alive. Short but intensely atmospheric, Vigil proves that sometimes the scariest thing is just staying still. Terra drops you into the belly of the city as a maintenance worker who's seen every pipe, every manhole, every forgotten corner. You're told the job is simple: replace a water line at the end of Tunnel 04R. The reality, however, is a maze of endless corridors that feel eerily familiar yet suddenly hostile. The game nails immersion with photorealistic textures and spatial audio that makes the echo of your footsteps feel like a living thing. Every creak, every distant hiss pulls you deeper into a psychological nightmare that feels less like a game and more like a descent into a personal nightmare. The narrative is subtle, revealed through scattered notes, broken panels, and the faint glow of flickering bulbs. You're forced to piece together a tragic backstory of what's been buried underground, turning every maintenance task into a puzzle of terror. But it's not just the story. The tension is relentless: sudden loud noises, flashing lights, and the feeling that you're never truly alone in those tunnels. Even knowing every turn can't protect you from the unseen. If you're looking for a first-person horror that feels grounded, claustrophobic, and psychologically unsettling, Terra delivers a haunting, gut-tripping experience that will stay with you long after you've put the controller down. Welcome to the quiet heart of a world that feels both ancient and entirely new. In Realm of Reverie, a short VR adventure built on Unreal Engine 5, you step into the shoes of the last priest of a sacred village, now a husk of its former glory. The disaster that shattered the village left a sunstone broken and the village spirit wandering. Your mission? Gather the scattered shards of lost energy, solve gentle puzzles, and restore that glowing heart. What makes this 10-minute experience truly special is how it invites you to breathe. There's no frantic pacing or relentless action. Instead, you wander through ruins that feel like a memory, with every corner whispering stories from the artifacts of Mexico's National Museum of Anthropology. The designers, Maggie Lin and Yichin Zhang, have turned a senior thesis project into a small, contemplative world that feels larger than its time span. The visuals are crisp, with subtle lighting that shifts as you restore the sunstone, and the audio palette is minimal yet evocative: soft wind, distant bells, the occasional crackle of fire. The puzzles are simple but meaningful. Each one feels like a piece of the village's soul being pieced back together. If you're looking for a VR experience that lets you pause, explore, and reflect, Realm of Reverie offers that in a compact, heartfelt package. It's a reminder that sometimes the most powerful journeys are the quiet ones. Voidstalkers drops you into the bleak year 2972, a time when most of humanity is unemployed and life is paid for by Megacorp. You're a Void Runner, a last-chance lottery winner who's handed a barely functional cargo ship and a cargo of dangerous Void Stalkers. Your job sounds simple: transport them to WASP research stations, but the Void is a living nightmare. Every jump throws your ship into disrepair: fires, reactor meltdowns, infestations, and the ever-present risk that a stalker will break stasis and unleash reality-warping anomalies. You'll have to keep a tight eye on the ship's cameras, reroute your drone, patch up systems on the fly, and if you're lucky, zap the creatures back into stasis before they fully wake. Failure means a frantic race to lure them into an airlock and blast them into the void. But the horror isn't just on the ship. The WASP management, the Lunar Resistance, and other Void Runners each have their own agendas. Your choices shape what you learn and how you survive, follow orders, side with the resistance, or play it for yourself. The game feels like a tense, corporata-sponsored thriller, blending cosmic dread with a sharp satire of a future where jobs are bought and debt is the price of survival. If you crave a dark, high-stakes simulation with plenty of moral gray, Void Stalkers is worth the jump. Welcome to Shellborn, the charming student-made coupe adventure that's free to play and currently in beta. Picture a world where the hero is a humble turtle, yes, a turtle, and your job is to help it survive a relentless mist that's always on the hunt. You'll gather wood, stone, and berries, load them onto your trusty shell, and smash through debris to rebuild bridges and carve a safe path. The fog is no mere backdrop. It's a living wall of mist that sends spirits to slow you down. Keep them at bay, stay fast, and use the resources you collect to upgrade your turtle, faster speed, larger carrying capacity, stronger defenses. Every stage ends at a camp where you can spend your loot and prep for the next wave of danger. What makes Shellborn truly shine is its emphasis on teamwork. You can only carry one tool at a time, so coordinate with friends, swap gear at the right moment, and communicate, whether through Steam voice chat or any external tool. It's a simple concept, but the cooperative rhythm keeps the gameplay fresh and engaging. If you're looking for a free, pure turtle-powered adventure that rewards collaboration, Shellborn is worth a try. Dive in, share feedback on the Discord, and help shape the next chapter of this adorable quest. The story opens with a quiet, pastel-colored sky and follows Luke, a curious angel who slips from the clouds to the earth. In this kinetic visual novel, you're a silent observer, watching as his descent rattles the heavenly order and forces the divine to confront corruption. There are no choices to make, just a beautifully crafted narrative that plays out like a short film. The visuals are gentle and dreamy, with smooth animations that make the clouds feel like a living backdrop. Every frame is carefully designed, and the pastel palette keeps the mood light even as the plot turns darker. The soundtrack complements the visuals perfectly, weaving airy melodies that echo the angelic theme while adding a touch of melancholy when the stakes rise. In just a few hours, you'll feel the weight of a world in turmoil and the hope that even fallen angels can find redemption. If you're looking for a quick, emotionally resonant experience with gorgeous art and a memorable score, this kinetic visual novel delivers a bright, thought-provoking evening. Welcome to the depths of Together in Forgotten Lands, a top-layer coupe adventure that turns a simple cave into a living, breathing entity. From the moment you and your partner step into the first cavern, the game reminds you that you're not alone. Both of you are needed to survive. The game splits the world into 4 distinct biomes, each with its own mood and mechanics. In the glowing crystal chamber, light-based puzzles test your ability to reflect and refract beams. The jungle biome throws you into sprawling labyrinths where timing and trust are everything. Platforming jumps feel fresh thanks to the shifting terrain, while the final biome turns the entire cave into a rhythm-based challenge, demanding precise coordination. What makes this title stand out is how every puzzle is designed for 2. You can't cheat by playing solo. The mechanics force you to communicate, to synchronize your actions, and to think about the other's perspective. A simple example is a dual-lever system that only works when both players act at the same time, easy to set up, but a real test of partnership. The story unfolds through environmental clues and cryptic messages, painting a picture of a forgotten world that feels both ancient and alive. The cave itself reacts to your presence, shifting walls and revealing new paths as you progress, making each playthrough feel unique. In short, Together in Forgotten Lands is a brilliant showcase of coupe design. It blends puzzle variety, atmospheric biomes, and a living world into an experience that rewards trust, communication, and a shared sense of curiosity. If you and a friend are ready to test the limits of teamwork, this cave is waiting to be explored. Thanks for sticking with me through that deep dive. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and consider subscribing so you won't miss any of the next updates. Take care, and see you next time.